Hello and welcome to Blakely Buzz Today. I'm your host, Nicole Ward, President and CEO with the Cochran-Bleckley Chamber and Development Authority. We've got a great show planned for you today, so make sure and stay tuned. Hello and welcome back to Blakely Buzz Today. I've got our special guest, Area Manager with Georgia Power, Mr. Scott Cox. Always a pleasure, Scott. I know you've been coming to this area for a little while now with your new position. I think about 6-7 months now. Is that correct?
About 6 months. I got 4 different counties that
Awesome.
I work. I work Houston County, Macon County, Peach County, and of course Bleckley County. And I've really enjoyed my time down here in Cochran. I've gotten to actually experience some things down here with the chamber.
I know we put you to work a good number of times for sure, and we
That's
appreciate you for you and Deborah, your wife. So
Well, thank you.
Greatly appreciate having you in the area and your involvement here. Yes. But let's back up a little bit and talk. Okay. I know you've been with Georgia Power for 17 years now.
17 years. Yes,
tell us a little bit about that and maybe a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a mid-career hire at Georgia Power, so it's I didn't come right into Georgia Power right out of college, so I have some experience, outside of Georgia Power. And a lot of my experience in Georgia Power is in transmission, so the high voltage lines that you see that run through. I run through construction, design, maintenance,
all the really fun stuff.
Yeah, all the fun stuff, right? So in this area, I'm very familiar with this area. I was actually housed at Macon headquarters, which actually had Bleckley as part of its territory. So I'm familiar with the territory and what's going on down here. But now in my new role, where I'm more of an external affairs type person, I'm able to come in and work with chambers of commerce about economic development and really kind of a problem solver for some of the cities and that type of thing is what I do.
Yes, I know we've had a lot of discussion about that and some different directions that we can go, especially from our economic development standpoint.
Right.
So
That's right.
I know that's one thing that Georgia Power is very passionate about
Yes.
your involvement with economic development. And especially here with the Chamber and Development Authority combined,
That's right.
that allows us to really work a lot closer together as well. So tell us a little bit more, too, about how Georgia Power is really involved from a not only a local level, but a state level with economic development.
Yeah, I mean, it's really kind of an easy thing for us as Georgia Power. We want to get people into Georgia. That's our number one thing that we want to do. We want new businesses here. We want the communities to grow. We want them all to be healthy. And so we do a lot to try to bring those companies in. We work with the state and the governor to try to bring those type of businesses in. And we actually have a research center that's actually up in Atlanta that we kind of sponsor along with the EMCs. The EMCs are also involved with us on that.
Very nice. In the Synergy building, actually.
That's right.
So,
that's right.
Yeah,
and so
been there a few times.
Yeah, that's right. Good. Yeah. These companies can come in and learn about our communities. And that's why we want to have healthy communities so that when they come in, they're ready to come in and actually go to work. And so that's the kind of things that we want to do. So we try to help communities get healthy and really find the businesses that fit them. Part of it is the personality of the communities. We want to make sure that the community fits the personality of the business that's coming in. And so that's kind of some of the things that we try to work on. And so I've really been excited kind of working with the industrial authority here, kind of finding out what's going on in Cochran and getting used to that. So hopefully we can help kind of move some things forward there.
That's right. Very true. Very true. So, well, thank you so much. Some other great news that you guys have going on from a Georgia Power standpoint is some money coming back to some customers. So tell us a little bit about that.
That's right. So it's the Georgia Power customers. We've got several different things. Money coming back. Everybody's really excited when money's coming back, right?
Oh, yeah.
And you get rebates back from that. That's always my favorite part when you open up the envelope and there's something coming back to you, right? We've got several different ones. Let me tell you a few of them. One of them is on Plant Vogel. When we were building Plant Vogel, we partnered up with Westinghouse and Toshiba, and they didn't meet up with some of their obligations, basically, to building Plant Vogel. And so within our contract, they had to pay if they did not meet those obligations. So we were able to get money back from them, which is really good because now we're passing it back on to the customer.
Yes, very much so.
So you'll see on your bill, in your Georgia Power bill, about $25 coming back, totaling up to $75. So you have 3 different installments, and some of those you've probably already seen on the bill. They started in April, and then it'll be June, and then September is when we're going to actually release those. You'll see that on on your bill.
So kind of stay tuned for your next power bills and
Yeah.
kind of expect that, especially during those hot months in the summer too.
yeah.
I know that'll be very much
That's right.
of a benefit for
That's right.
people. So,
And then another one is actually the tax cuts that we saw the U.S. government has given us. We're actually saving some money on that, so we're passing that back to the customer, and that'll be kind of an ongoing thing. It's about $1 a month, but it's still some money with that for residential. And then, a lot of people look at Georgia Power and they always say, "Well, you're a monopoly. You're just a big company. You're just a monopoly, and you're guaranteed an earning rate." Mm-hmm. Well, that's really not true. The reality of it is we have an earning bandwidth that we can do. So the Public Service Commission is figured out that they want a healthy electrical company as well.
Right, exactly.
Right. So they gave us a bandwidth and said, we think a healthy company can live on a certain percentage of earnings. Okay. And the top end is about 12%. Mm-hmm. So that's where a lot of people think we're guaranteed at 12%. We're not guaranteed 12%. And then at the bottom end is about 9%. So anywhere between 9 and 12% is where they want us to earn on our money. So if we're below 9%, which we can go below 9%, then we would come back and say why we were down that 9%, and then we'd probably do a rate case to try to raise the rates at that point if it's an ongoing thing. Mm-hmm. But when it goes over 12%, we actually share back with the customers with that. So 2/3 of the money goes back to our customers, and we keep 1/3 of that. So 2/3 of it's coming back. So in 2016, that actually happened. So once we closed all our books and we figured out all of the with big corporation takes us a while to close those books.
Oh yes, for sure. As many people are knowing with April just past us.
That's right.
And tax season. So
That's right.
yes, for sure. So
that's right. So 2016 we went over 12%. So we're actually sharing back with the customers. On average, that's going to be about $10 back per customer, per residential customer.
And you do that on just one bill, or is that?
That would be on one bill. I think
Okay.
that should have been in your March bill. So you probably saw that in your March bill.
Okay, awesome. Sounds great. Now, how long is it actually set at that rate from that kind of 9% to the 12%? Is that something that is adjusted from year to year, or is that set for a longer extended period of time?
So what we'll do is we'll go to the Public Service Commission, and we'll actually do a rate case with them. We'll tell them where our costs are, what's going on in our business, and that's when they'll set that rate. So it's varying. So it's been varying every time we go to a rate case. That'll change.
Okay.
And it's a negotiation that we do with the Public Service Commission.
Very good. So a lot more to your bill
Oh, yeah.
and everything that kind of goes on behind the scenes with Georgia Power too, and really how you guys get so involved with communities.
That's right.
I don't think a lot of people really realize that and how beneficial you guys are to be boots on the ground within even the smallest communities.
Right.
So,
Well, again, it's that again making communities healthy. And if we make communities healthy, then businesses want to move here, people want to move here, and well, we get some more customers, or the EMCs get more customers,
and it
so
helps make Georgia
how,
the number one state to do business.
That's right, exactly, and that's
year
exactly
after year.
exactly the point of that is we want Georgia to be number one for business.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. Well, anything else you'd like to share with us today? I know you've got 4 areas that you cover
Yes.
with 4 counties, and I know you're very plugged in with all of those and a lot going on. So, anything else?
I do. I like the region that I work in because it really, there's a lot of it centered around the Air Force Base, which is really good. But the communities all have different issues that are going on in each community, and that's what makes my job really interesting. Is that I can go into communities, try to help solve problems for them, again, trying to make them a more healthy community, help our customers. So Georgia Power is here, and we are trying to help out.
Well, awesome. Well, that sounds great. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you being here and sharing a little bit about Georgia Power and how you guys are so involved with communities, and look forward to seeing you even more at our Development Authority meetings as
Yes.
well as our chamber meetings as well.
Excellent. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
No problem. Well, thank you guys. Make sure to stay tuned. We've got a great second half for you as well, and we'll be back just shortly with Blakely Buzz Today. Hello and welcome back to Blakely Buzz Today. I've got my special guest, Tommy Fisher, here with us today, a local Cochranite, I would say. He's with Everett Dykes Construction, which is a subsidiary, which maybe a lot of people don't know, of CPI. So,
Correct.
How are you, Tommy?
I'm great, Nicole.
Good.
Glad to be here, and honored that y'all would have me here today to talk a little bit about Everett Dykes Company, which has been in Cochran since 1968. It's been
a few years, huh?
Yeah, it's been here a few years, and it's a lot of people don't realize it because we're not located in a downtown area. We're out in the county in a rural part. The Cary community is our corporate office, which is very rare that you have a corporate office out in the unincorporated part of the county. But it's been there since day one. It was almost like a transition farm, and got in the construction business and been going well ever since.
Well, awesome. Well, I know just from meeting you and learning a little bit more about Everett Dykes, I actually learned now that they actually were purchased a while back in 2011 by CPI. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, back, will be 8 years in December. It's been a good buyout. We've gone from a small company to a more corporate standardized company where we just have a lot more red tape. And, well, I won't say red tape, I shouldn't say that. We just have a lot more transparency in our company. We have a lot of small company ways still, but we operate as a large company. And I think that's a good thing. It's been really good for Everett Dykes. It's been good for Van and Ricky Dykes, who have, been the forefront of the company since their dad passed away, Mr. Everett, and turned the company over to them several years ago, as they were, reaching retirement age. And I think the company was a small to medium-sized company, and they wanted the opportunity for their employees to grow and get larger, and this created the opportunity for that to happen. And
awesome.
It's been really good.
I know just learning a little bit more about it, you guys are actually in Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Alabama, and Florida. So does that actually take you out of all of those areas, or are you still just able to be just in Georgia?
Luckily, I'm just able to be in Georgia. I get to stay at home every night. I spent a few years when I was on the road early on, and it does sound, we do reach a large coverage area, but Everett Dykes as a whole, we cover the state of Georgia and South Carolina. We have sister companies who are subsidiaries of CPI, that is Wiregrass Construction in Alabama, and we're C.W. Roberts Company down in Florida. And then up in the North Carolina market, we're Fred Smith and Sons, and we have an environmental company there called Riverworks.
Awesome.
So we do cover a broad market, but Everett Dykes is based here in Georgia, mainly in South Carolina.
And how many employees do you guys currently have with the local company here in Cary?
Currently, we employ about 185 employees. We're ramping up right now, and we'll go up to as many as 250 in the peak season. So for Bleckley County, it's not the largest employer here, but we
Y'all
do
are
employ.
up there, though. That's
right,
for sure.
Exactly right. And as we continue to grow, we'll employ more and more people, which is a good thing. And we have people who work for us from down in Appleton County, Houston County, over in Pulaski County. We have people in just all reaches, Lawrence, and all the way down to Waycross, we have people working.
Which is really great, because a lot of people don't realize that, most of those people when they come, need to eat lunch, need to get gas,
Absolutely.
need to, grab some groceries before they head home. So it's definitely, you guys are helping, bring more economic development to our community. So
Absolutely.
we greatly appreciate that.
Yeah, and, we want to give back to the community. We're only as good as our community is as a whole, as a company. Our workforce says a lot about Bleckley County and the surrounding counties. We have good workers, and without good communities, school systems, and economic backbone, we wouldn't be where we are.
Oh, very good. Well, I know with everything that you guys got going on, it's a lot of local stuff that we've got going on as well. So let's start about some current projects. So the big one that's been going on for quite some time now, a little bit over a year now, is the Georgia Highway 87 bypass.
Yeah, Nicole, we're working on the Highway 87 bypass around Cochran. It's a 4-mile project that starts at the Business District 87 split coming south on Highway 87. And what we're doing is currently taking a 2-lane bypass that comes around Cochran and making it a 5-lane road. It'll be 2 travel lanes north and south with a turn lane in the middle. We have been currently working on a project where we just went over 12 months on it. We're just completing the first phase, which we were supposed to have open on April 25th, but due to Mother Nature, we've had some rain events and other things, and acts of God, of course, we can't control. And the DOT has been generous enough to give us rain allowances, so we've got about an additional 30 days to have that section open until we move further on with the project, which should last another roughly 30 months, and we should be complete.
So really, you're just talking about the section within 30 days. So maybe the end of May would be the section that's going over the bridge.
Correct.
The brand new bridge that you guys created.
Absolutely.
So if you guys have not seen the progress that you guys have made, it's just been incredible for sure. So
and it's really neat.
Very impressive.
It is. It is really neat to go out on that bridge. It seems like it's the highest point in the county when you get up on top of it, because you can see so far from that bridge. And I never realized, by raising yourself up 80 feet in the air, how much more of the county that you can see from that section. So it's exciting. It's change for the community. So sometimes that's hard to embrace, but we're making progress. It's gonna be a good thing. It has been a good thing, I think.
Well, I know that since this has been put in place about a year ago, that the detour has actually been right here in front of our office at the Chamber and Development Authority is right here on 2nd Street. So once you guys open that bridge up, it'll actually take that traffic back off of the main highways and actually put it back on the bypass. So some of these big trucks, I know we've had an issue with a big light pole that got knocked down. So it's definitely going to be good for the citizens of Cochran to be able to know that. Absolutely.
I think that the citizens, sometimes they didn't understand why that we needed the expansion on the bypass. And I think the detour, as much conflict as it created by bringing the truck traffic through town, has softened the people some to understand how much we did need that area by seeing how much traffic really does come through town.
Yeah, especially a lot of these big trucks. We really are a small downtown area that has been hard to kind of deal with those big trucks. So,
and when we had the redesign of downtown and put in the light poles and the sidewalks, they reconfigured the parking, and that made it more of a challenge with the heavy truck traffic.
But soon to be behind us for sure.
Absolutely.
But I know the widening of the additional 87 section is going to continue. So for another, how long?
It'll that 87 project that you're talking about, Nicole, is actually in a project that's going to start on Highway 87 at Highway 257, which residents here close will know that it's a chicken road. It'll start and it'll run south on towards Eastman. It'll connect the Eastman bypass that was built, that we finished up about 18 months ago, that Everett Dykes finished, and it'll connect the two bypasses together, and we'll have a 4-lane corridor all the way through, all the way to Brunswick. We'll be able to run from Bleckley County, or we actually can run from Highway 96 into Brunswick, 4 and 5 lane the whole trip. So the economic development side of that is we've got better transportation for the intermodal port in Brunswick and Savannah, and we look at that here with the chamber, especially is looking for economic growth.
Yes, exactly.
It gives us, without transportation, we will never be anything. If we can't get where we're going, we're not going to have anything.
Very true. Great point to make for sure. Well, I know you guys are constantly busy, so this is not just 2 projects that you guys have under your belts and working on right now. So I know, tell us a little bit more about some things not only in Cochran and Bleckley County, but within our viewing area for ComSouth Channel 100.
Well, that's exciting. We're working on a project in conjunction with Georgia Asphalt over in Houston County that is touching. It's their 2018 Joint LMIG project, and it touches Warner Robins, Perry, it touches Centerville, it touches Byron, the edge of Pinehurst and Dooley County. It's a great project. Georgia Asphalt is doing the hot mix asphalt portion of the project, and we do a product with Everett Dykes. It's called chip seal. It's a surfacing of a road. We do a lot of rural community roads with that, and we're doing that section with them as a joint venture kind of sorts there. Awesome. So we're expanding there down in Dodge County. They've just let their LMIG project, which is a local maintenance improvement grant. And what that is funding through counties and city municipalities where they put in. It's based on a formula ratio each year that they turn in for grant money, and they have a match of those funds. We're going to resurface about 10 miles of roads in Dodge County that we just were awarded the contracts on last.
Well, I know
last
anytime
month.
I know you can hear of LMIG funds being used in that match. It's definitely a huge
Oh, it's
thing
a
to
great
those
thing.
communities because, you take $1 and make it $2.
Oh,
you can
absolutely.
go much, much further.
And really, Nicole, it's more than that because you take the counties that passed the T-SPLOS a few years ago, the Transportation Improvement Act, and Bleckley County, Lawrence County, as well as Dodge County, and some more counties right here in the ComSouth area, and Houston County is passing it now, but the current match rate with the counties is 10% if they pass the Transportation Improvement Act. And the counties who didn't, they have a 30% match. So there's a big deal there. So you get more than that dollar for dollar. So you're really getting 90 to 1
yeah,
on that. So
that's a good thing whatever you're
absolutely.
talking about, 90 to 1.
Absolutely. And our infrastructure and our backbone of our transportation system and our infrastructure just needs all the help it can get. We've lagged behind a few years. Georgia has really worked hard to keep their tax rates down, their fuel taxes down, and we finally had an increase a year and a half ago on our fuel consumption taxes, and it's based off a gallon rate and based on the price. It's just a number of gallons of flat tax, and we were probably 5 years behind the curve passing that. And so that put us 5 years behind in our maintenance improvements throughout our infrastructures. But we're moving forward with that, and Georgia's on a great route to improve that and move forward.
So it's not only, those potholes that need to be fixed, but it's also those bridges that look to be fine to the regular common person, driving over, but it's just one of those things like everything else constantly needs improvements and updates and requires a lot of funds and money. So
you're absolutely right. And those are just major projects that were built in the, some of them were built in the 40s, some of them were built in the 50s, and we're really seeing now the test of time on those projects of trucks have gotten heavier, the higher traffic rates. We've got one that's closed down here in Bleckley County. They're building a new bridge in Pulaski County. We're actually doing the pavement project. We're doing the paving on that project now for GP Enterprises, who's building the new bridge there. And I think they've finished the southbound lane, and we've gotten it paved, got the traffic switched, and now they're working on the northbound side of 341.
I know that's a big, huge project for sure for that area as well.
It is. You talk back some of the older residents there that they talk about when the first bridge was built, and now they're seeing the second bridge built. So that's really exciting times for those guys. And I know it's a little bit of the inconvenience, but it's going to be a positive thing in the future.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, very nice. Well, any other projects you've guys got going on within the kind of Ewan area? I know you guys just finished up another project here in Cochran with Dyke Street. And
we're cleaning it up now and trying to finish a few of the last few things on it. We have some driveways left to pave on that project. Like I said, just some punch list stuff, cleaning up, trying to finish. We've just finished Highway 230 over in Pulaski County going towards Eastman. There's Lower River Road. There's a lot of local people would know there. We've resurfaced that in Pulaski County to the Dodge County line. We've got some projects coming up. There was some emergency money available for the city of Cochran, and Beach Street had an extension. The street was paved in the 40s, and it hadn't been touched since. And it really needs, it's in disrepair really, and we're excited to get started and fix that for them. Nicole, we're doing some work over in Peach County as well with the Houston County Joint LMIG as well. Peach County's currently, they're spending about $370,000 worth of grant money they've got on road improvements, and I know they have quite a few infrastructure projects as well lined up locally with their county and cities within that county.
Awesome.
Made up.
Well, I know a lot of times people get confused as far as this road needs to be paved and we want to see that road paved and there's potholes in this section of this road over here. Tell us a little bit about the different road sections that Georgia has from a state and a local level.
Well, Nicole, it's really, it's a great question to ask. Most of the local let projects are county roads. They're not state routes or federal highways. Within the state of Georgia, the counties do maintain their own road systems, and with their LMIG money, you don't ever see that local grant money. It doesn't go towards the state highway projects. With the passing of TIA as well as the LMIG program, those counties can pick roads and they put them in an application each year, and they submit them to the Department of Transportation, and they're approved based on their merit and their formula ratio, and they improve those roads each year. On the state level, with the maintenance department and Office of Engineering, they go out and they evaluate the roads based off current traffic conditions and counts and expected growth as businesses grow, and they know where they see this need,
Right.
where there's an intermodal port that's coming in that's going to be, rail system into it, and they're trucking vehicles out. They know our needs as we grow there. And those are based on a formula and ratio that the state uses, and they score those roads, and then we have a board of transportation through the state, and they meet once a month and they vote on that, and that's how they're let. But one thing people don't understand is with a state project, sometimes from conception of the idea to construction sometimes is 15, 18 years.
Yes, it's quite a while because
really
it's a
is.
lot that goes on. So not even getting to the point to say, hey, this road needs to be, widened or expanded or, redone, repaved. It's a lot that goes into it. So, well, thank you so much for kind of shedding a little bit of light on that.
No problem.
Now, I know you had mentioned earlier about some possible jobs that you guys are looking for and trying to fill within the next several months.
As any good company is in the central state, in any part of the state or any state at all, we need good employees, and we're always hunting good employees, whether it is a laborer to a upper management position. They can always go and check our website, or they can go to the Department of Labor.
Okay.
And through our EEO policy, we have to hire through the Department of Labor, or they can come to Cary, Georgia, and we have a employment portal there that they can fill out an application there.
Okay, awesome. So tell us that website, if you will.
Well, it would just be go to the Georgia Department of Labor's website,
Okay.
and it has a link there
Okay.
to our website.
Well, we want to thank you so much, Tommy, with Everett Dykes Construction, with all the information that you had with our upcoming projects and current projects that we've got going on. It's really valuable information. I really need to have you on speed dial, really.
Well, thank you, Nicole. We're really very appreciative of the chamber and everything that y'all do to help us. And as we move forward, we look forward to being maybe invited back to talk about what's going on in Central Georgia.
Awesome. Sounds great. And thank you guys so much for tuning in to Blakely Buzz today. Hope you enjoyed the May edition of our show. I'm Nicole Ward, your host, and wanted to make sure that you continue to stay connected with us through our Facebook page as well as our website, Cochran-Bleckley.com. I also want to thank our business of the month for May, which is Uchi Trail Golf Course. Thank you so much again for tuning in, and we'll see you next month.